The palace walls were built to project stability, but recently they have begun to echo with unease. Instead of the smooth machinery of tradition and order, Britain is watching a monarchy that looks fractured, distracted, and increasingly incapable of speaking with one voice. At the center of it all stands King Charles III, a man who waited a lifetime for the crown, only to find himself tested by the one battlefield he cannot avoid: his own family. Every recent scandal, every awkward public appearance, every whispered slight has pointed to the same haunting question: can this king actually control the House of Windsor? Or is his reign destined to be remembered for weakness? The warning signs have piled up with unnerving speed. At the funeral of the Duchess of Kent, what should have been a solemn and dignified occasion turned into yet another showcase of the family's fractures. Prince Andrew, disgraced and stripped of duty after the Epstein disaster, walked into Westminster Abbey with Sarah Ferguson and behaved as though he was still untouchable. Cameras caught him smiling, even laughing, while those around him bowed their heads in grief. The image was jarring, almost grotesque. A man who should have vanished into the shadows standing side by side with senior royals, dragging the monarchy back into the swamp of scandal. Prince William's fury was evident. For years he has distanced himself from his uncle, making sure not to be photographed in his company. Yet here, in full public view, he was forced into proximity, humiliated by association. Insiders whispered that William was incandescent, that he felt ambushed, and that he blamed not only Andrew, but also his father for allowing such a disgrace to happen. And that is the recurring theme: Charles allows. He tolerates, he looks away, he fails to draw clear lines. Andrew's presence at the funeral was not inevitable, it was permitted. And in that permission, the monarchy once again looked like a house without discipline, a family without a firm head. While Andrew undermines from one side, Camilla and Catherine expose cracks from another. The Queen Consort and the Princess of Wales rarely exchange words in public, but their rivalry speaks through looks, gestures, and tiaras. Every banquet becomes a duel of presence. Camilla, dressed in bold colors, tries to assert her authority as queen, but beside her stands Catherine, the elegant, luminous future, wearing jewels that once belonged to Diana, commanding attention simply by existing. The cameras linger longer on Kate, the headlines celebrate her wardrobe, and the global audience sees her as the true face of the monarchy. Camilla notices, and resentment simmers. At Windsor, at Buckingham, even at diplomatic dinners with foreign leaders, the silent battle continues. Yet Charles, the one man who could calm the rivalry, never does. He sits between them, distracted, hoping that time will smooth things over, but time only sharpens the contrast. Instead of guiding his family, he appears overshadowed by it. And then there is Harry. His surprise appearance at Kensington Palace, during his recent visit to Britain, caught everyone off guard. He missed the funeral of the Duchess of Kent, but he drove quietly into the palace to offer private condolences to the Duke of Kent. No cameras, no statements, no palace approval. It was a deeply personal gesture, but it also revealed how far Harry has stepped outside the monarchy's orbit. He no longer seeks permission, he acts alone, as if to remind his father that the bonds of family have frayed beyond repair. To the public, it suggested a son who still honors tradition in his own way. To the palace, it underscored the king's failure to bring his children back together. These incidents are not isolated embarrassments. They form a pattern. Again and again, Charles appears reactive rather than proactive, more spectator than leader. He is not the monarch who bends his family to order, he is the father who begs for harmony and receives defiance. In the monarchy, weakness is more dangerous than scandal. Scandals can be contained, denied, even outlasted. But weakness seeps into the foundations. Once the public begins to doubt the monarch's authority over his own household, it is only a matter of time before they doubt his ability to embody the authority of the nation. History provides brutal comparisons. Edward VIII collapsed under the weight of personal desire and abdicated. George VI held Britain together with quiet resolve during the war, despite his stammer and fears. Elizabeth II reigned for 7 decades, because she never allowed personal turmoil to eclipse her public duty. But Charles faces a different challenge. His family is the storm, and the world sees every crack in real time. He has no external war to unite his people, no great national struggle to make his weaknesses invisible. Instead, every banquet, funeral, and wedding becomes a test of whether he can maintain discipline, and too often the answer appears to be no. It was supposed to be different. Charles presented himself as the thoughtful monarch, the environmentalist king, the man prepared for modernity after decades in waiting. But recent months have shown another side, flashes of temper, like the infamous outburst over a leaky pen, a weariness in his eyes, an inability to stop his brother from humiliating the crown, a failure to quiet the rivalry between his wife and his daughter-in-law, and a silence in the face of his youngest son's independence. The public sees not strength, but fragility, and fragility in a monarch is fatal. Inside the palace, courtiers whisper that William is already preparing to take a harder line when his time comes. He has no patience for Andrew, no tolerance for Sarah Ferguson, and little sympathy for his father's leniency. For William, the monarchy must project discipline and modern purpose, or it will wither. To him, Catherine is the shining star, the asset that can preserve the family's popularity. And yet, every time she is dragged into conflict with Camilla or forced to share space with Andrew, her brilliance risks being dimmed by association. William sees it, and his anger only grows. One day, when he wears the crown, he will purge what his father could not. Until then, the monarchy drifts in uneasy compromise, with Charles as the fragile anchor. This is the peril of Charles's reign. His weakness does not simply expose him, it imperils the entire institution. The monarchy rests on image, not law. Its power comes from perception, not force. If the public sees a king unable to govern his own family, why should they believe he can symbolize the unity of a kingdom? The Windsor name has weathered scandals before, but never has it looked so leaderless, so vulnerable, so uncertain. The cameras captured Andrew's smile at a funeral, Camilla's sideways glare, Catherine's poised silence, Harry's quiet defiance, and William's clenched jaw. Each image told the same story, a family pulling in different directions, while the man who should hold them together falters. For Charles, the danger is not a single scandal, but the accumulation of doubts. Every stumble erodes authority. Every hesitation invites whispers. And every whisper makes the crown feel just a little heavier. The question now is whether King Charles III can recover. Can he impose discipline on Andrew? Can he mediate the Cold War between Camilla and Catherine? Can he reach Harry before the distance becomes permanent? Or will history remember him as the monarch who waited a lifetime for the throne, only to lose his grip the moment he placed the crown on his head? The monarchy's survival has always depended on the illusion of strength. Without it, even the oldest walls of Windsor cannot protect it.